guys, Coach Gaglione here. Very exciting day. We're going to give you a full-on garage gym tour. This is the new headquarters, at least for the time being, for Gaglione Strength. So let's come on in. Let's check it out. All right, so call this. This is a little bit fierce. We've got a lot of good stuff in here. First thing that I've been doing, and I'm getting a bigger one, but for the meantime, I've been just using these magnetic whiteboards just to write up my workouts. I can slap on here so I can kind of see like what I need to do for the day. That's my workout for tomorrow. Doing a little upper body pulling and tricep work tomorrow. So that's going to be just to kind of organize myself. And when you kind of first come in here, you can see our bar holder. So we got our fat bar here. This is a lighter fat bar. I'm going to probably use this for like a lot of pressing and curls. It's just a little bit easier. It's a little bit more surface area. So in addition to training your grip, it's going to be a little bit more surface area. So it's going to be a little bit more joint friendly on your wrists, elbows, and things like that. So if you want to do like things like straight bar curls and pressing movements, and if you want to challenge your grip, you can do it for pulling movements as well. I won't be using it for much pulling, but I'm going to use it for like curls and pressing and maybe some tricep movements. We have an easy bar here. I'll primarily going to use this for some tricep work. One of the things in my program, I'm doing a lot of overhead triceps. I'm going to use that for that, as well as doing some upright rows. And this is a cool thing too. This is a super bar, which has a rotating handle. So this is also very accommodating for your wrist. So if I want to start with like a neutral grip, or start with a pronated grip, and then I can kind of come up like this. So it kind of just works more with your body. It's a little bit more joint friendly. If I was doing something like a tricep extension, I could also kind of stay, I can go from a neutral to a pronated grip or just stay neutral. So a lot of great options for arm training here with the super bar. This is an old one. This bar is over 10 years old. I also have a women's bar here and a lacrosse stick, dowel rod just for some banded exercises as well. If I want to do like some banded deadlifts with just the bands themselves or some band rows, I could use that. Or if I want to do tricep press downs with a straight bar, I could just use that. Also, it's good for stretching. So we're going to come on inside. All right, so we're going to look over here. So we got some gardening tools. Just kidding, guys. Besides that, so I got my wrist straps here. Right now, since I'm not focused on powerlifting training, this is really important so I can do higher reps in the deadlift and in rows. So I've been using these straps a lot just to overload my back a little bit. Mostly for one-arm rows and bent over rows and things like that. And we got a bunch of different bands here. Some are Jump Stretch and some for EliteFTS.com. So the bands are going to be used for a host of different exercises, but what's really great about these is there's no inertia. It's a little bit easier on the joints. We could also add this as accommodating resistance to barbell training. Not doing that too much right now. And it's going to be harder at the top, the lockout, as the band gets tighter and more stretched. So if you want to do something like a tricep extension where you're mechanically weak in the bottom and mechanically stronger at the top, something like triceps and pressing movements, bands are a really great option. They're not as good options for rowing, but if you are limited on equipment, you can use them for like rowing because obviously you're mechanically weaker at the lockout for a row. Well, I love all the Mark Bell's hip circles. This is the big ass hip circle. This is my favorite for a lot of walking movements and things like that. We have a couple different sizes depending on your strength level. And a lot of people might not know, especially for like the lower level, this is a slingshot sport. You could also use these for upper body training as well. So for switching for the smaller ones, you could do things like external rotations and rear delt work. So also the smaller ones can be used for upper body training to warm up and for training your shoulder stabilizer muscles. Not just, even though it's a hip circle, you can also use it for upper body. We've got a Bosu here. I'll probably use these for push-ups. I'm not going to use these for balancing. But if you kind of hold it upside down, it's a nice unstable push-up. Unstable surface training is really good for shoulder stability. And then kind of the meat and potatoes, we have all our weights here. We got some bumper plates, and we got some plates here. Kind of weight storage. I got a band here as well. I'm doing some band leg curls and things like that. We got the Olympic collars just to make sure everything's nice and tight. I got the Inza wrist wraps here. And then this is kind of the bulk of where everything is done. We got the combo rack. Being a monolift guy, I always kind of joke that my feet are permanently glued to the floor, but just in a situation we're not going to have a lot of spotters and things like that, so I'm going to be walking my squats out. So I could squat here in these hooks. I can go bring it down. We got a bench that'll attach in, so I'll do my deadlifting on the mats here and my squatting movements. One of the things I'm going to be doing a lot of, this is a really nice piece. So again, to save space, I didn't want to bring a safety bar in here, but I'm using the Dave Draper top squat. This is from Sorinex. This actually attaches to the straight bar, and it'll make any straight bar into a safety squat bar. So again, since I'm not competing in powerlifting right now until like later, maybe this year after the apocalypse is over, I'm going to be primarily going to be doing safety squat bar squats with the top squat to save my wrists and elbows. Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here. This is part two of our home gym tour. This is Gags Garage Gym. I got a little bit rudely interrupted by an alarm. So joking aside, our last gym tour video got cut short, so we're going to continue on. I want to kind of show you everything we got to offer. The last thing we talked about was this top squat, which is amazing. So I want to continue to talk about some of the features of this combo rack. So if you're a USAP, I mentioned before, if you're a USAPL or a IPF, USPA lifter, you're very familiar with the combo rack. Right now the bench setting is in, so we could do benching from here. One thing that I kind of rigged up as well that we could do, it's not set for the right height right now, but if I kind of bring this up a little bit to like a squatting setting, I could also make this into an incline press with this Elite. This is actually this is a New York barbell box. Which, to be honest, I really like this New York barbell box squat. I think it's underrated. So we can come here, and what we can do is just bring the bench like this, and this works out pretty well. It may seem a little wobbly at first, but if you kind of just get it just right, it kind of locks itself in place, and I can get a pretty nice incline press of this. I'd actually need to bring this a little bit higher, but that's just kind of a nice kind of addition. I could do chest supported rows from here, and I don't need to get like a 45-degree bench as well. I'm trying to limit the amount of things I need. I didn't want to bring a 45 adjustable bench into here. So now I could also do some incline pressing or some seated overhead press, because sometimes that's going to be consideration with a lower ceiling. So if I want to do like a seated overhead press or an incline press, I can do that by using the box. And obviously, the box squat is going to be a great option as well for anyone that's learning to squat or just wants to have some squat variety. So I'm going to actually show you guys now. I'm going to set up bands for a workout I'm doing a Westside Barbell inspired workout. So we're going to put the bench back over here. It's a little bit cumbersome depending on your space, but making do. Okay. So I want to guys show you how to, a lot of racks have band pegs and stuff, these do not. So we got these fat bells here, and we're going to talk about those more in a second. So these are real heavy. I think these are at least 80 pounds. So we're going to use these today to attach some bands onto. And I want to make sure that this rack is kind of secure, so I'm just going to put some extra weight on it as well. So it takes a little bit of work when you're using accommodating resistance, but it's well worth it. You want to get the extra benefits of using the bands. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use these light bands today and do some speed squats. I haven't decided if I'm going to use the top squat or not for this. So I can come here and just choke the band. And I want to try to get the band out to where I walk out. So I might walk out a little bit further than normal. So these bands will probably provide about 70-ish pounds of tension at the top. If I want to use them for benching, I can kind of double it like this. This would be too aggressive of a band for benching. I would do like a mini band. But I'm going to do the squats today, so I'm just going to choke it just like so. And I'm going to put the band over the bar like this, just like that. So once I walk the weight out, it's going to be perpendicular to the ground, so 90-degree angle for those of you non-math nerds out there. So this is holding it pretty good. I want to make sure it's the same setup on both sides. Okay. So you can see you still have some options here, even if you don't have band pegs. It's not necessary. So again, we're choking the band, just like so. Just like that. And that's going to be one of my workouts for today. As far as deadlifting with bands, we're just going to use a single band for deadlifts later today. I'm just going to use the lacrosse stick or the PVC pipe just to show you. But basically, if I'm doing a rack pull, which I would not recommend doing on the combo rack, so I'm just going to step up on the bands like so. And that's going to provide tension. So if you can imagine if this was a barbell, and this actually could be a great exercise in itself, I'm just going to use a single band for my speed pulls today. So I'm going to do some speed squats and then some speed pulls in my workout today. So you can still use accommodating resistance. I think bands are going to be a little bit better option when you're at home, because you don't need to have like 100, 200 pounds of chain that could take up a lot of space potentially. These bands don't take up a lot of space. They're very lightweight. They could travel well. So that's going to be a great option. So we mentioned the box here. We could do a lot of different things with the box. With the combo rack, we could also put this really high up, and I'll use the ab straps as well. So I had some videos on that. So these ab straps can go on here. I could bring this all the way up, and I could do some hanging leg raises there and use that as kind of like a pull-up bar as well. So I could do pull-ups and hanging leg raises from here if I bring the height all the way up for someone like myself. Someone who's taller, that may not be possible, but at least you could do things like assisted pull-ups, which is still a great exercise, and I could make these harder by bringing my feet up on a box here and going through there, or I can go bring this down and do inverted rows as well. So that's going to be all the different uses of the combo rack. As you can see, we also have some kettlebells. We also have some center mass bells. And whether you're using the kettlebell for swings and things like that, we also have these center mass bells as well. So some of the different features, if I'm doing something like a deadlift, or if I'm doing a goblet squat or something like that, the kettlebell can be a good option. I could do all my pressing movements from here. I really like rows with the kettlebells because I can start from the floor and get a big stretch from a dead stop. And these center mass bells are really nice because they sit over the joint. There's less inertia you have to deal with like a dumbbell, so these have been a great option for a home gym. And then lastly, we have these fat grips to make dumbbells and kettlebells a little bit more of a challenge. It's also going to make pressing movements a little bit easier on the wrists because you're going through more surface area. And then lastly, for just some ab work, we have these furniture movers. We have a lot of videos on these. So you can put these on the ground and do things like body saws, knee tucks, and things like that, as well as supine hip extension leg curls. This is a really great option, really cheap furniture movers that you can get for your home gym. So that concludes the full gym tour. You want to think about space. Again, a very, very small amount of space that we use, but there's a ton of exercises we could do. We could still have a great program. If you guys enjoyed the video, please share it. Please check out the links below if you want to support our company during these tough times. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.